muted.
Disclosure. The notice, the video.
Hello, my name is Isabella Perez, Recreation Leader for the City of Socorro. Thank you for joining today's meeting. Before the meeting begins, we would like to remind our guests to remove all hats and silence all electronic devices. No disruptive behavior or outbursts will be tolerated, and violators are subject to ejection and possible prosecution.
Hola, mi nombre es Judy Rodríguez, secretaria de Planificación de la Ciudad de Socorro. Gracias por participar en la reunión de hoy. Antes de que comience la reunión, nos gustaría recordarles a nuestros invitados favor de quitarse los sombreros y silenciar todos los dispositivos electrónicos. No se tolerará ningún comportamiento perturbador ni exabrupto y los infractores estarán sujetos a expulsión y posible procesamiento. It is 6:06 p.m. This meeting is called to order. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence led by Ms. Yanel Buendia, Students Activity Director from Socorro High School.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, and one and indivisible.
Thank you very much, Ms. Buendia. We appreciate it. Since the students weren't able to be here, we really appreciate you coming. Unfortunately, we were caught off guard by that, but we will have something special for you on next week, actually.
Thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you. Item number 3, establishment of quorum.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Here.
Mayor Ivy Avalos.
Here.
Rudy Cruz.
Here.
And Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Yes, here.
Mayor, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Item number 4, public comment.
We have one speaker, Albert Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz, you have 3 minutes.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members and others present. My concern is mostly public safety, being retired fire department, right? I was wondering if there could be more lights in front of Sanchez Middle School, and also the light that's out by the railroad tracks. They've been out for a long time. At night, now with daylight coming in, ending, I've seen students at night walking around, and it's pretty dark out there. That's one. 2, also, how about some lights on Rio Vista going on this way? I see people at night also when they walk their dogs or their kids. It's also a concern, maybe a lights on Parker and Rio Vista. That's another one. Another thing is speed humps here in front of the courthouse, actually, because now that the police department is no longer here, man, people think this is the I-10. I've seen people actually pass each other. I mean, it's getting pretty dangerous. And you have a park here with children, so it's kind of a concern that one of these days somebody's going to lose control or something. I was thinking maybe speed humps, like maybe right here in front of the marker, the historical marker, so they can't go around it. You know how people are. And then maybe the one over here by the canal, they won't be able to go around. And then also the last one, at Rio Vista and Thunder Road, there's a little canal. I don't know if you all have ever, where Rio Vista ends. If you ever make a right turn there, I always worry that somebody's going to be falling in. So I was wondering if we could put up, street department could put up a post, a warning, hey, go around it, you might fall into the turnover in the canal. And that's basically my concerns right now, I mean, I like to travel around and see others, but I have only 3 minutes. Other than that, Ms. Villalobos, I'm glad you're doing great, thank God.
Thank you.
And all others, I wish you all the best, okay? But thank you for your time.
Thank you for
Okay.
coming.
Thank you.
Mayor, those were all our speakers.
Moving on to consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Yvonne Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Regular agenda, public hearing. Item number 11, public hearing of an ordinance approving the preliminary and final plat for Valley Quail Estates being a portion of Tract 11A, Block 19, San Elizario Grant, El Paso County, Texas. It is 6:11 p.m. Public hearing is now open. Would anybody like to speak on this item? No speakers?
No speakers, Mayor.
As there are no speakers, public hearing is now closed at 6:11 p.m. Item number 12, second reading and adoption of an ordinance approving the preliminary and final plat for Valley Quail Estates being a portion of Tract 11A, Block 19, San Elizario Grant, El Paso County, Texas.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Lorraine Quimito, City Planner. For your consideration today is the preliminary and final plat approval of Valley Quail Estates subdivision, being a portion of Tract 11A, Block 19 of San Elizario Grant. The owner is Valley Quail Estates, Selma Sud del Rio Engineering, representative. The property is 17 acres approximately in size. It is currently vacant. Being in the Socorro 2-mile ETJ, it does not have zoning or a future land use designation with the city of Socorro. In summary, the request is to approve the preliminary and final plat of Valley Quail Estate subdivision. Planning and zoning recommends approval, and the Planning and Zoning Commission voted for approval of the preliminary plat at their September 5th meeting, and they approved the final plat at their October 3rd meeting. The property again is at the City of Socorro's 2-mile ETJ. These are property photos taken from San Elizario Road, looking at the property. Here is an aerial photograph. Land use to the north is residential. To the east, west, and south, it is largely agricultural. This is a depiction of the preliminary plat, followed by the final plat. With that, staff can answer any questions.
Questions? Mr. Reyes?
Good afternoon. Thank you for presenting. On subdivisions like this, it's not our jurisdiction, but do we go back and double check? Is there inspectors that go over there and make sure that they actually did what they're presenting?
It's outside of the City of Socorro city limits, so we don't have any authority in the county. So in this example, this being outside of the City of Socorro limits, but in the ETJ, it's in the county. We don't have any authority to do any work outside in the county. This is the extent to where we can voice our opinion about subdivisions and how they are laid out, so that maybe in the future, if that area should become a part of the city through some annexation or future action, that they would be in line with our subdivision standards. It is the county, though, that would oversee the implementation of this plat. The county, this subdivision doesn't, for example, include a road, so the county would review and inspect that for the county's acceptance, because that road would be a part of the county's road inventory.
So it's more of a notice to the city of Socorro, kind of.
Letting us have our 2 cents in.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Villalobos?
So these ETJs, have we looked at what the county rules and regulations are for these ETJs? Do they have any restrictions that mimic what we have for our residents here?
So the process is to review the plats both through the city of Socorro and the county. So the county has their subdivision standards and we have ours, and because it's in our ETJ, they need to abide by our subdivision standards. The county is in the process of updating theirs, but they are limited by what they can do because they are in the county.
So I guess my question is, if court enforcement needed to go in there, it would have to be county code enforcement?
It would be
and
county
not-
code enforcement.
Okay, and do we know, well, you're saying they're getting ready to update their rules and regulations. Do you know if they're taking meetings on this yet, or?
No, I'm not aware of their schedule, but I can find out in case you would like to.
I believe, Councilman and Mayor, that we should visit with our county representatives and let them know that some of their, I'm just gonna say some of their ETJs are not following any of our rules. They have trash, they have containers out there, they have,
So those are building issues that are the counties, and those are examples of things that they would not fall under the city of Socorro's ordinances.
right,
So restrictions like the building types, that's in the county, and they're very restrict as to what they can and can't deny.
Mayor, may I?
Mr. Martinez?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Council. Jim Martinez, City Attorney. Ms. Colon-Villalobos, I just don't think we're appropriately posted to discuss the general relationship between the county and the city for ETJ enforcement.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Human Resources Department, item number 13, discussion and action on approving the job description for Program Officer Compliance Specialist.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Carol Candelaria here, HR Director. This action is to approve a job description for the Program Officer Compliance Specialist. Back on September 14th, this position was approved during our preliminary budget reviews, and so this is the job description that's attached to the position that was approved. I do have Ms. Alejandra Valadez here in case you all have any questions.
Any questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item number 14, discussion and action to approve the amendment to the Socorro Policy Department Policy 4.6 off-duty employment.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Lieutenant Smith with Socorro Police Department. This was brought before the Civil Service Commission. This is an update. It's a policy that we have to have in order to fall within the Texas best practices. It has been reviewed by the city attorney, and it has been approved by Civil Service. We're just asking for your approval.
Ms. Rodarte?
I just wanted to add that Civil Service made some recommendations to changing the language, which has been changed. And that's item number 7, where employees are prohibited from using city vehicles. or other property with the exception of their uniform, sidearm, and radio during any off-duty employment.
Any other questions or comments?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Planning and Zoning Department, item number 15, discussion and action to approve an event permit for a Rosary to the Virgin of Guadalupe at 10628 Shady Valley on December 9th, 2023, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
This request is an event permit for a Rosary to Our Lady of Guadalupe at 10628 Shady Valley Drive. The applicant, Petrita Barrera, is requesting approval of an event permit as per Section 36255 of the City of Socorro Municipal Code. She is asking to close off a portion of the street in front of her house. Her neighbors also submitted letters granting permission to use the front of their property. The event would take place December the 9th from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and they're expecting 100 to 150 people. Ms. Barrera is here if you have any questions for her.
Questions, comments?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 16, discussion and action to approve event permit and payment waiver request for Hueco Elementary School's Veterans Day Parade on November 9th, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second.
For your review and approval is an event permit and fee waiver for the Waco Elementary Veterans Day Parade. Greg Hatch with Waco Elementary has submitted the event permit and request for fee waiver for their parade to be held November the 9th. Planning recommends approval. The next slide shows the route for the parade. And with that, staff can answer any questions.
Questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
City Manager, item number 17, discussion and action to approve mayor and any other council member who would like to attend the 92nd winter meeting, January 17th through the 19th, 2024, Washington, D.C. for the U.S. Conference of Mayors.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is to approve the travel for mayor and council member interested on the 92nd winter meeting. This is from January 17th through the 19th. Please note a regular council meeting is scheduled during this week. The United States Conference of Mayors convenes 2 meetings annually. The annual meeting is held in a member city in June or early July, while the winter meeting takes place in the January in Washington, D.C. The objective of these gatherings is to communicate with the White House, Congress, and the current administration to discuss priorities. Primary roles of the conference is advocacy, networking, promote your city, and best practices. Do you all have any questions?
I do.
Mr. Cruz?
What are the current policies for the city for travel when it comes down to elected officials? The reason why I ask is I feel that we need to put it in writing that should any members of council wish to attend these types of conferences and trainings, that we all leave at the same time and come back at the same time. I know it can be difficult at times, and I know some of us have jobs outside of what we do here for the city, but it inconveniences the city. It also inconveniences the staff, and we have to make special arrangements. I know it can also change the cost of our flights and hotel stays and whatnot when we book it at different times and stuff like that. I don't know if there was anything that was that states that in our policy right now.
Correct, so we do have a travel policy, and it does say that if there's changes to the actual cost, then the council member will be in charge of reimbursing the city
Okay.
for that extra cost. Right now, for this conference, we're looking at about $2,566 per person, and that includes airfare, hotel, rental vehicle.
And do
Things
we
of
have
that
any scheduled council meetings during these dates?
Yes. So our regular council meeting for January, it would be scheduled for that Thursday.
So that means we would have to push that one back and then hold a special meeting?
Correct, so what we can do is in our next council meeting, if we decide that all council members leaving, we can also place an item on the agenda to call for a special meeting on that month of January. So we can give ample time to the public, letting them know that our regular meeting is scheduled for a different date in January.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 18, discussion and action on the Civil Service Commission and staff's recommendation to hire a chief of police for the city of Socorro, Texas.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is to approve to hire our next chief of police. The interview panel consisted of City of Socorro Civil Service Commission members, Chairperson Andres Chavez, Commission member Claudia Olmos, Albert Ortiz, Carlos Ortiz, Alex Miranda, and Cassandra Olmos. A total of 4 candidates were eligible to participate in the interviews scheduled Monday, October 23rd, 2023. The top 3 candidates participated in a community forum on Wednesday, October 25th. The following are the ranking numbers for the top 3 candidates based on civil service. Candidate Robert C. Rojas received an average score of 84.66. Candidate Omar Chavez received an average score of 84. And candidate James Perdue received an average score of 81.66. City received 15 ranking sheets. One included 2 choices and an email from our community forum. Out of the 17 comments, 11 chose Robert C. Rojas to be your next chief of police. James Perdue and Omar Chavez received 3 each. The following Civil Service Commission recommends candidate number 1, Robert C. Rojas, for the chief of police. City Manager Adriana Rodarte and Human Resources Carolyn Candelaria also recommend candidate Robert C. Rojas as your next chief of police. Do you all have any questions?
Comments?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 19, discussion and action to renew and ratify state legislative lobbying services to Forma Group LLC to provide a valued approach and continued representation for the legislative session and authorize city manager or her designee to sign contract.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is requesting approval to ratify and renew Forma's contract for another year from October 1st, 2023 through September 30th, 2023. We have been working on a bill to assist the landlocked properties and have had several meetings with different state leaders. We believe they provide a valued approach and continued representation for the legislative session. We do have a roadmap that's being followed. We're also looking into the Senate Bill 2 to see if we can add any type of language to assist the smaller cities with regarding the taxes at the end of the year. Because of our rapid growth, we're seeing our tax rates going down, the evaluation going up. So we're exploring that and see if there's a way that we can change the legislation when it comes to that. So we've been working on that. Do you all have any questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 20, discussion and action on calling a regular city council meeting for the December pursuant to section 3.07 of the Socorro City Charter.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This item is requesting to set a date for a council meeting in December per our city charter. I recommend Thursday, December 7th, since people will be taking vacation during the holidays. If not the 7th, if we can do it on December 14th. Those two dates fall on a Thursday.
Make a motion for December 14th.
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
I won't be able to attend the 14th.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah, I think it's too close to,
Oh,
some of us
We're
leaving.
voting, you can vote.
Yes.
You could vote if you do nay or.
You want the 14th?
Can still do it without.
I have to give my 2 cents also. I prefer the 7th.
Okay, we're voting, so no.
Aye.
So
Cesar
can we
Nevares
amend-
is absent.
Wait, Jim, can we amend the motion?
We've already started voting, so you have to finish. And
Jim,
then-
can we amend the motion, Jim?
Okay.
Sorry about that. It took me a minute. You can amend the motion, but your clerk is right. I mean, the mayor's right. You're already voting. I
Is
would
there a motion
recommend
in a second?
finishing the vote,
Yes,
and then
there
you
is.
can amend or withdraw the motion if it doesn't pass,
Okay.
or offer a new one if it doesn't pass.
Yeah, so I'd like to offer a new one and offer the date of December 7th.
Go ahead and
But you're already voting on the
we're
first one. I
voting.
would finish that roll call vote, and you
Oh,
can
okay.
change your vote, but I would still finish that roll call vote.
All right. My next?
Yes.
All right, nay.
And Ivan Colombia Lobos.
No.
So we
Motion
need a
dies.
new motion. No.
We need a new motion.
Yes, because
So
we
who
had
would-
3 noes, only 1 yes for December 7th.
Now we have to make a new motion. So who would like to offer up a new motion?
I'll make a new motion for the December 7th meeting.
Second.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Nay.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia Lobos.
Yes.
Thank you, Council.
Could have just been a text message, no?
No.
Mayor and Council, item number 21, discussion and action to approve the creation and adoption of the shopping district on Nuevo Hueco Tanks Road in Socorro, Texas. In addition, adding this to the comprehensive plan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll read my summary and then I'll state the issue. So in an effort to create the substantial economic impacts of the city of Socorro, I feel that we need to create and develop a district specific to retail and restaurants. This is going to offer the residents of Socorro the full shopping experience, at the same time drawing customers from the surrounding area. As you all know, the Nuevo Hueco area and commercial development spaces that are made available right now are not currently in the comprehensive plan. And if so, it's very limited to the information as to what should be built there. The last thing that I would like to see, I know it's not my district, I believe it's in Mr. Garcia's district. The last thing that I want to see is, although items get presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission and it meets all the requirements and meets and bounds and all that, the last thing I want to see is more storage units and those types of businesses. I'd like to create an actual district that kind of limits the type of development that we want to see there and bring in the retail and restaurants and whatnot. It doesn't necessarily have to be called the shopping district. We can name it whatever we want. We can name it after Mr. Alex Garcia if we want to. But I'd like to designate that area there along the strip so that way it kind of flows with what Horizon's doing up there. You know, they have all the retail shops and restaurants and stuff like that. And that way we can get some of that traffic flow from the Horizon residents and our neighbors up top and bring them on down here to our city. And that's what this item here is being presented to you all as today. Does anyone have any questions?
We need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Right.
Second.
Say we needed. Second.
We have a second, Mr. Reyes seconded.
Oh, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia Lobos.
Yes.
Item number 22, discussion and action to prohibit and ban from this day forward new head shop or smoke shop establishments to include any retail outlet specializing in paraphernalia used for consumption of cannabis and tobacco and items related to cannabis culture and related countercultures, vape shops, smoke shops, etc.
Again, thank you, Mayor, Council. Again, this is an item that I want to present today. And again, this isn't necessarily, and I know that I may have to, staff may have to seek some more information from legal counsel as to the term of ban. I know that the wording needs to be specific, but maybe if working with legal, they can provide us with some terminology that's more fit for this item here. But what I want to do is not this isn't specific to the current establishments right now that currently operate under these conditions as smoke shops and vape shops and whatnot. This is to not allow any more to come into the city of Socorro and establish themselves here. I think that there's plenty enough traveling, and again, they're so close to the schools. Although they meet the requirements as far as the area that they're not supposed to be within a school zone, it is in walking distance. But at the same time, I feel that the city can do a lot better, especially when the school district representatives are coming over here, and we have phone calls from parents and stuff asking us what are we doing. And there's a big campaign going on right now as far as the vaping and the chemicals that the students are currently smoking and inhaling and whatnot. They're taking them into schools. The devices look like USBs, and it's to the regular eye and someone who doesn't know it, it could be a USB, but it's really a vape. They're being brought into the schools, they're being brought into the homes, and the students now are, they're using these products. And so this item would be specific to any new establishment that would want to come into our city and apply for this type of permit to operate in this form and fashion. I'd like to put this item on the table and see if the council would support me in the efforts of limiting the type of businesses similar to these here within our city.
Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Garcia?
Jim, I have a question. This is something, a broad action to ban. Would we be in any sort of legal consequence for voting on this and just banning a place of business here?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. And my recommendation, I think Mr. Cruz correctly perceived this. My recommendation would be if council views this item favorably, to amend the motion slightly so that the motion is to direct your staff to work with the city's attorneys to develop a proposal, develop and bring back to council a proposal to restrict them. You probably can't simply ban new ones outright. To the extent they're selling legal products, not cannabis itself or a cannabis product, but they're selling, vases, as they say, and papers and the like, you probably can't ban it outright, but you could probably impose some restrictions like proximity to schools, proximity to residential areas, proximity to churches, maybe even restrict proximity to each other. That sort of thing is probably doable, but two things. One, we need to do a little work on it. That's a bit of a research project legally. And the two, we do need to coordinate with your staff.
Also, can we amend the motion to also maybe allow it in public places? Can we add that to this motion?
Yeah, you can.
I'm not clear. I'm not certain what you're talking about. To allow what in public places?
To also ban restrict the use of tobacco and tobacco products in public places per se, shopping centers, restaurants. Can we do that as well?
With some limited exceptions, yes. There are places where you probably can't do that, but it really is a health and safety function. You could probably restrict it fairly aggressively. but we'd have to be very specific about defining what places that it is and is not permitted.
Thank you.
Ms. Villalobos?
Mr. Martinez, so in the future, if Texas allows cannabis, would this ordinance prohibit as well, or would it be something that we would have to amend in the future?
Well, you wouldn't necessarily have to amend it, but it might get overruled by operation of law. I mean, any statute that the legislature adopts, to the extent it contradicts with a city ordinance, the state statute wins.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Ruben Reyes.
Let me, if I could interrupt, I do recommend
Motion?
amending the motion.
Okay. So I'd like to amend the motion for direct staff to looking into stricter restrictions for the use of, for the establishment of businesses and retail outlets specializing in paraphernalia and consumption of cannabis, tobacco, and related items such as vape shops.
Second.
Thank you, sir.
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Item number 23, discussion and action to approve for Mayor Ivy Avalos and Councilwoman Yvonne Colom Villalobos to attend the Nalio Institute on Health, Creating Pathways Toward Latino Wellbeing event on November 16th and 17th, 2023 in Newport Beach, California. Ms. Villalobos?
Real quick, we have not been approved yet as members. We did sign up. Once approved, they are, NAIL will pay for flight and hotel and meals. They did not include or did not state anything about transportation, and this is why I'm requesting reimbursement or assistance with transportation.
Do we have a motion?
I'm sorry, transportation within the city. And I don't know if we need it. I don't know if we're in it's in the same hotel, but I'm letting you know.
Do we have a motion?
I have a question.
We have to have a motion first before discussion.
Motion to discuss.
It has to be approve or deny.
All right, motion.
Motion to approve?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Cruz?
Yeah, so I'm all for conferences and whatnot. I have a question as to how do certain members of council get selected, or who selects them? Or how do we learn about these conferences?
Everybody got an email, and I learned from it many moons ago from another member, and I saw the email, last week, 2 weeks ago?
I believe we also got texts.
Okay.
For registration, I got maybe a couple of texts. That's where I register. I went into the link and I registered there.
Okay.
For a scholarship. Mr. Garcia?
We are, as a city, we're able to, I don't know if this is our city manager or Mr. Martinez. As a city, we're able to use taxpayer money. I'm not sure how this NATO thing works, but is it there's dues to be paid, or how does that work where we can lawfully approve to spend taxpayer money on a certain event that's not open to everyone?
I can address that, Mr. Garcia. I mean, in terms of being an appropriate use of taxpayer funds, yes, it is. It's an appropriate use of public money.
Okay.
NALEO, if you haven't heard of it, NALEO is a well-known nationwide organization. And my memory is many, many years ago, I actually went to one of their conferences when I was working for the city of El Paso. And I liken it to sort of TML. It's very much like a TML. it emphasizes for elected officials only, and it obviously emphasizes members who are Latino. But much of the content of the presentations is very similar to what you would see at a TML conference.
Thank you. And I think that's it. I forgot my other question. Thank you.
Ms. Villalobos?
And it's for everybody. It's whoever signs up, whoever wants to go.
But I'm sorry, I remember now. It's not approved yet, so
No.
you might guys not
Right,
go.
exactly, correct, exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Question?
Yeah, comment. Even though I probably won't go, can we change the motion to mayor and council? And just to have it open for if Mr. Cruz wants to go, Mr. Garcia.
Mayor.
Yes, Ms. Villalobos.
The enrollment for it was closed it was closed last week. So even if you wanted to go, and pay for it, I don't think there's any way of them allowing you to attend. It had a cutoff date, and it was, I think the email was like a good 3 weeks, so I'm not sure if you guys saw it or didn't see it, but.
So I have a question.
Okay, Mr. Cruz?
If they're paying for travel and lodging for all members, which is you guys, then you guys should have just asked for transportation money, right?
We don't know
Isn't
what
that what
it's
you're
gonna be.
asking?
Yeah,
We
that's
don't know
what we're
what the
asking.
expenses is gonna be. It's just, that's the only thing.
We're asking.
It's a scholarship.
But it says here, NALEO to provide free of charge travel, lodging for all members, which is members of the NALEO conference, and you two are members. And, right?
No, we're waiting to get approved.
So you guys aren't approved members?
Not yet.
Who's approving you all as members?
They would.
So we're approving something that they haven't approved tonight.
Right, because by the time we go to this, we won't have another meeting to get it approved. So,
I guess because our council meeting's dated November 16th.
Oh, I get it. I understand. Okay. So you just be needing money for transportation.
right.
Is there a motion already?
Yes, we have a motion
All right.
to approve.
All right.
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent, Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz,
Aye.
and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
Do we have a motion to go into executive?
Motion to go to executive?
Second?
Ruben Reyes,
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent, Alejandro Garcia,
Aye.
Rudy Cruz,
Aye.
and Ivan Colom Villalobos.
Yes.
And it is 6:48.
unmuted.
It is 7:29 PM. We are now in regular session.
Motion to delete items 24 to 27? 26, I'm sorry?
Second?
Do we
Ruben
have a
Reyes.
second?
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Yes.
Motion to approve, I'm sorry?
Sorry, let me read it first. Item number 27, discussion and action and update regarding personnel matters at Socorro Police Department.
Motion to approve and implement city manager's recommendation immediately,
Discussed during executive session.
discussed during executive session.
Second?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Ruben Reyes.
Yes.
Cesar Nevares is absent. Alejandro Garcia.
Aye.
Rudy Cruz.
Aye.
And Ivan Colombia Lopez.
Yes.
Meeting adjourns at 7:31 PM. Have a good
Night,
night.
everyone.